So since, right, Paul put on paper, right, and Ned is like 50-50. Let's go to predictions. So, Ned, what is your scoreline
He's
prediction?
gonna say Crystal Palace.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Football Kaki. I'm your host Elder and I'm joined by my fellow Kaki bros, Paul and Ned. So guys, what's up? How y'all doing?
I'm good, nothing much. Boring old week at work. Same old.
Week at work. Paulie?
Bro, I'm feeling under the weather, man.
Ooh.
I'm nursing it, so I think it's all good.
Is it flu or is it fever or is it?
It's like a
just
dry
because
cough,
you're
bro.
wearing Nike?
It's like you cough, but there's no phlegm.
I know what I mean. And it is just something in there because today, right, like it rained super heavily in the morning, and I didn't know because I was off work and I just slept through the whole morning. So I was fine.
Nice.
I was happy.
That's the best, man. Right?
That's a very nice feeling, right? I didn't have to think about what time I needed to get up.
I should be using my MCs more. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, not MC. Leave.
Okay.
Leave.
Off.
I don't say MC. I don't support MC. I support leave. Ned, how have you been?
I'm good. Yeah, same old boring week at work. Nothing much.
Any gigs you watch?
Gigs? Not any gigs I've watched so far, but I'm organizing one, but I don't think this is the right place to plug it right now. So
No, but I think like there was emo night this weekend, right?
I don't go for emo night anymore, man. I'm not like 12.
Hey. Whoa. Hey, emo music is nice, okay?
Okay, look, no shade because I know all of the guys at emo night. It's just like it's not my scene anymore. So
yeah, I think you're past that phase already, right?
yeah, definitely.
Okay, can. Oh, side note, right? Do y'all get My Chemical Romance concert tickets?
Hell no.
Nope.
Oh my god, don't even remind me, man.
I see like the people until now, right? I think they're still trying to like sell off their tickets for a high price just because they could get their hands on it. They're scalping everything, bro.
Singaporeans they fight every way to make money, bro. Especially concert tickets.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Bro, you have to understand that. Okay, never mind. I don't want to get too political here right now. It's just the way we were brought up is like, okay, money, and it's unfortunately the way I am also. It's just like I'm not like a terrible person about it. I try not to be, at least.
I honestly, right, like I think in Singapore, right, you're just mentally trying to bring it all about money, right? Which I think like in essence, right, is part of the football industry that we are currently in because everybody's spending money, right? So today, what we are going to talk about on the Football Kaki is the two biggest clubs in England. I'm sorry, Arsenal, that's just the fact. It's Liverpool and Manchester United and the current pre-season thoughts that we have. We've got Liverpool and United fans here. I am going to try to remain neutral even though it's very hard for me to. Because I went on the AOS podcast recently and there was a Manchester Monday and I talked about Manchester United and I've already said quite a lot of things. So go and check out that particular episode. But today, whether I refrain from that or not, right, is a totally different thing altogether. I will try. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Liverpool, the current preseason performances, United, the current preseason performances, and then we will move to the season opener at Wembley, which is the Community Shield, where Liverpool will take on FA Cup winners Newcastle. So
Newcastle?
No, sorry, not Newcastle. Crystal Palace. Newcastle won the EFL Cup. I apologize for that because currently all the saga is about United target trying to see whether he's going to go to Newcastle. That's why my mind is on Newcastle. But aside from that, right, we have our what's going on. So handing it over to Paul. So Paul, today, what is our what's going on?
What's happening?
Yeah, so I think this news broke out, I think rather quite dramatic over the weekend, is that Son Heung Min is leaving Spurs. It's a rather a big shocker right there, but do you guys think it's about time after he won like Spurs their first trophy, right? And then decided to call it quits.
It's 100% his time. It's 100% his time. It's time to go.
It's time to go.
Okay, Ned, why do you say it's time to go?
Yeah. As much as I can respect Son Heung Min, because honestly, I don't really like him as a player. Yes, hot ass take, but yeah, I've never been the biggest like Son Heung Min fan. A lot of people say like he's very Liverpool coded. Honestly, I don't really see it. But yeah, that's beside the point. I think losing Son is going to be a bigger loss than like losing Harry Kane to Spurs fans.
Yep.
It's just in my opinion. With Harry Kane, you realize like it was sort of like time for him to go. It's like time for him to like explore more options out there, and he ended up at Bayern Munich, which I think he's very happy at. But I think at this point, right, Son Heung Min is like more affiliated with Spurs than Harry Kane ever was, which is very odd
agreed.
to say because he's a foreign player. But yeah, I don't know. It's losing Mr. Tottenham essentially. You don't really think about Spurs without thinking about him as a player and what he's done for the club. So it's going to be a very interesting transitional period for the club right now. I want to see who they bring in to sort of like replace him as a player, not necessarily as a personality, because you know that's going to be like a big ass hole for them to fill. So yeah, my thoughts on that.
Agreed. I think for me, right, because Son's already kind of a Spurs legend in his own right at the fact that he brought a European trophy to Spurs. That's just simple. Even though it's not a Champions League, it's still technically a European trophy. I do kind of agree with Nat in a sense where he's done everything he can at Spurs already. They're not going to win a league title. That's the fact. The team's not good enough. The mentality of the team of Spurs in general is just not at that point in time. I think that if, to be really frankly honest, right, if Spurs didn't play United and they played Bilbao in that final, right, I think they wouldn't have won the Europa League. Let's just be frank. That's my thoughts. But for Son, right, to move on, it did shock me a bit because I was thinking, okay, new regime under Thomas Frank, right? But I think at that point in time, when you look at the big picture, right, his days are numbered, and I don't think he wants to compete at such a high level anymore. I might be wrong, or it could just be that it's just time to move on already, lah.
Look, I think it comes back to the days when the Saudi Pro League was buying everybody and their mother, and they came with an offer to Son, and Son had actually publicly declined the offer, saying his job's not done at Tottenham. He wants to leave Tottenham with at least one trophy. I think he's gone and done that. I'm a yield kind of guy, so I see the numbers that he's producing every season just gradually going down. So I think he realizes that it's also like maybe it's time for him to leave also while he can, when he still has a big legacy. He leaves them with like a major European trophy. It's not the biggest one, but it's still a European trophy. So I think it's the right time, honestly. He leaves a legend for Spurs at this point.
I agree. Paul, your thoughts?
Yeah, and agree with what you guys said. I think, and also that the fact that he's leaving for only like 15 million euros. I think it's pretty good offer. Just that I'm surprised no one else came for him except LAFC. Yeah, actually, he could easily be like fit into even a United as a striker. Like for maybe like 1 or 2 seasons. Such an underrated player, undervalued. Yeah, and in the past maybe 5 to 10 years, right? Nobody else like even thought of like buying him. Yeah. Can you imagine that? Right, there was no like rumors for him like linking out of.
Liverpool did try to buy him. I think like not like around the time like maybe 1 or 2 years after we won the CL, we did try to go for him.
It wasn't a big right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, he didn't want to leave, and that's on him. I'm so unhappy you guys are not in charge of like the United transfer decisions, because bringing in like a 30-something-year-old Son Heung Min would not be a very good move for you guys at this point.
I mean, they're looking at veteran leadership, but I also do think that Son won't fit in the current system that United wants to play. We'll talk about that a bit later, lah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think with Son, right, like the loyalty is presidented. So everybody knows he's too loyal to even want to betray Spurs. Like that's just fact. Yeah. So it's a good thing for him, but it also essentially became a detriment to him, because I think that had he gone to a bigger club, he probably would have won more trophies than he actually did in his career, lah. Which, to be really frank, I do still think that no matter what, right, his highlight is still the Asian Games gold medal. Yeah.
At this point, it has to be the Europa League. Look, Spurs hadn't won a trophy in 17 years, man. Yeah, like he's part of the team that finally got them, a decent like European trophy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's an achievement in itself, winning something in Spurs.
That's true. Fair point.
You Man United fans before the game were printing out "Let's It's Spurs" on T-shirts. That has to say something. Spurs came out the winners on top of that.
First of all, right, in me and Paul's defense, right, we were already saying that there's a chance Spurs could win. So we didn't actually say let's be Spurs. We were saying that there's a chance that United could lose, because if there's any team, right, that was better than Spurs at that particular moment in time, it was United.
No, I get that, but it's just like general sentiment. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I understand. But there's a different group of United fans are not the two on this show, lah. So I'm just gonna keep it at that, right? I think to sum it up, right, like all of us have we kind of agree that it's time for Son to move on. Or like it was the
definitely.
right time because new regime, he changed managers multiple times. Is probably, I think he's just tired of that whole system, right? And I don't know, right? Maybe before we close off, right? Do you think this happened because they sacked Postecoglou and that kind of ruined his faith in the management of Spurs?
I think maybe it's a back of his mind sort of thing, but not necessarily the main motivating factor on why he's leaving, I would say.
Paul?
Yeah.
No, I think just maybe like after he won the Europa League, right? Maybe that's the best he could achieve with Spurs. Because there's no way they're gonna win the league, right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like the next best thing that could happen. Maybe like you can talk about the Champions League final in 2019, but it's just a what if lah.
Yeah,
They made it to the final,
agree.
but they lost. Yeah.
I agree. I think at the end of the day, right, let's just hope and wish Son all the best in America.
AFC. Yeah.
I was kind of shocked that it was LAFC. I thought it would be somewhere else. Why didn't he go to Saudi Arabia, go link up with Ronaldo?
Or like even a
But
Korean
never
club.
mind. Actually, why did he go back to Korea?
Maybe that's like after the US stint lah.
You know, at some point, it's pointless to sort of speculate about why players do certain things. Like, why is Thomas Muller not retiring after ending his contract at Bayern? You know, people just do things for certain reasons. Sometimes you'll never know. And that's part of the fun.
Yep.
Speculation.
That's true. So yeah, I think let's just wish Son the best in his future endeavors, right? But moving on, let's move on to the main segments of the day, which essentially is Liverpool, United, and the Community Shield. So, Liverpool so far in the preseason, right? There's been a lot of transfer activity. So they've got Kekes, Frimpong, Wirtz, Ekatike, and there's a potential that they're going to sign Isak, which to me is absolutely insane. This amount of expenditure, right, surprisingly high for Liverpool compared to what they've done under Klopp in their past history. So this is a bit kind of a new thing to me. But they played 2 games so far in preseason, right? And it's a game against Milan and it's a game against Yokohama, right? So Ned, I just want to ask you, right, like, what were your thoughts on Liverpool's performances during these 2 games from what you've seen?
I just want to correct you on that, and that we've played 4 preseason games so far.
Was it 4?
Yes, we played. Our first one was against Preston North End. That was the one they did. Yeah, they did a tribute to Jota.
Yeah.
That was their first game back after that. They did a closed doors versus Stoke City. Then it was Milan, and then it was Yokohama. I think there's one going on in a few hours' time against Sevilla. 2 games against Sevilla.
Bilbao, Athletic Cup.
Is it Bilbao?
Yeah, it's Bilbao. I'm looking at the thing right now.
Sevilla is against you guys.
Yeah.
that's
we are playing Fiorentina.
Fiorentina. We know someone's playing against Sevilla. I don't know.
Never mind.
I'm playing too much.
Sevilla and Athletic Cup, the logo look the same.
I've been playing too much FIFA. I swear to God. Look, I'm not going to comment too much on preseason performances.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, to me, Arne Slot strikes me as the type of manager where he's just his first main focus will probably just be getting the players like shaking the rust off the players, especially a key one in Alexis McAllister, who had his minutes limited, especially towards the end of the season based on like a minor injury and whatnot. But also for him just to try something new in a tactical sense. We actually saw him sort of try it after we won the league. I don't think he wanted to risk it just yet. He essentially turned Gravenberch into the Toni Kroos role, where he'll play him at central defensive mid, but in possession he'll like move him back towards the centre back position. So you'll be having 3 centre backs essentially. I think a lot of it is just down to him trying to get Ryan Gravenberch to be a bit more tactically disciplined. Yeah, there were interviews from like Virgil van Dijk and like Gravenberch saying, you know, how because he's in a more defensive role than what he's used to, an advanced 8 role that Klopp and like everyone else like would like to play him at the time. I just think it's like on him. He's still sort of young. Like, people keep forgetting like dude's like 22 years old, like 22, 23 years old. So it's just him like, you know, trying to get into like the rhythm of things, him switching essentially to a more defensive role and moving back on that. Verge apparently has been shouting at him, you know, Ryan back, and probably Arne Slot also. But it's just been very interesting to see how we sort of set up under this new formation with these new players with you know, Arne Slot's kind of profile in mind. I think the most exciting part was definitely the Wirtz transfer, which is really obvious, but it's very, very interesting to see how much of a liking Arne Slot has taken towards him. Because in the training videos, you can see a lot of the time he's like the designated player. If they play like two sides, like five-a-side matches. He's that one player that's playing for both teams. Him and another youngster coming up named Trey Neone, I think. Yeah, so it's been very interesting to see like what kind of player that we truly can see like Arne Slot has a liking to. And it sort of confirms like he's not gonna play on the like left hand wing. That role's pretty much going to Cody Gakpo at this point because Luis Diaz has been sold off, and seeing him fight for position with a Soboslai or possibly Soboslai moving deeper into the 8th row. So yeah, it's just been a really, really interesting preseason to watch. I'm more so enjoying the games than like, really caring about the results.
Yeah.
So I think that's just my brief thoughts on that.
Yeah. Before I move to Pora, I want to ask you something, right? Because I think so far the highest profile like preseason game was against Milan. I noticed something that maybe I don't know whether would you call it lack of fitness or is a potential red flag for the season, was that Milan caught Liverpool on the counter quite a lot. So I don't know what are your thoughts on that, because it just seems like the moment there's space at the back, it's just one pass defense split, then is down the wing with sprint already, especially if they have pace.
Okay, for me, it's part of the process of shaking the rust off the players most of the time. I don't know if you recall, but in the first season that we won the league in 1920, I don't know if you remember, but Liverpool lost all of their preseason games.
1920.
Yeah,
1920. Bro,
they lost all of their I mean, it is, but like I very specifically remember like us losing every single one of our preseason games, but then we went on to like completely storm the league, winning the league, and we like, what was it, like 5 or 7 games to spare or something stupid like that? I know it was the record for that time, but like so at the same time, I'm saying I'm not asked about preseason. If it's one man to trust to fix on tactical flaws or whatever, it's going to be Arne Slot. He's proved that in his first season. Like, purely off tactics alone, he didn't buy anyone. Like, 14 million on Chiesa, fine. Another 40 million on, like, Mohamed Deshraeli, who doesn't come in until this season. That's all he spent on his first season, and, he went on to win the league with essentially a club squad. So, if it's one man I trust to do the job, it's going to be him. So, I'm not too stressed about that. Arsenal can, champions of Singapore, Singapore football season. You never think that. They can take that trophy they won. When it really matters,
I've got nothing to say, right, other than the fact that you guys are the league champions and Arsenal are not. So I will just leave it at that, right? Like, I mean, it's fair in a sense where you look at preseason most of the time with a pinch of salt, because it's not the actual dictating performance in comparison to the actual season ahead lah. So sometimes you can perform well during preseason and as we know, perform horribly during the actual season. So before we move over to United, Paul, any thoughts on Liverpool?
Yeah, bro. I think I'm just following more of their transfers rather than their gameplay actually. So I think they already sold quite a bit, which is very good lah, because like they sold Diaz, they sold Kelleher, right?
Yes.
Kwanzaa, and then now they're on the brink of selling Darwin Núñez to the Saudi club, right? So
not
all
just
this
Darwin
money,
Núñez, possibly like Chiesa, Tyler Morton, and
so all this
Javier
money
leaving.
coming in, right? Like it's going to offset or even fund the Isak transfer, to what they already have spent. I think almost about 300 million. So with all this money coming in, at least they are balancing the books. I think they have no issues with like the PSR, and on top of that, they're going to add Isak to the team. I think that's
I will say that I am a little bit concerned with our defensive depth. Not so much the fullbacks, more so the centre backs, considering we saw
Konate is linked to Real Madrid, right? Or something.
That's
Maybe
up in the air right
season,
now because there's a lot of conflicting reports right now, so I won't speak on that.
Yeah.
Joe Gomez legs are made of paper mache. So our only reliable defender is in our captain Virgil van Dijk, and he's getting on in the year. So I think that's gonna be something to look out for once the Isak saga eventually ends. That's definitely an area Liverpool are probably gonna go towards.
Yeah, understand. I think that's a fair point, right? I think for me it's more to do with, if you were to look at the team on paper, right, they've gotten a lot better compared to last year. What it looks like, because the quality of players there in comparison to last year has definitely increased. Like to be frank, if you all get Isak, right, it's a huge upgrade over Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez can just literally fly away to another league, right? And you guys wouldn't even miss him, because technically when he was there, you also didn't miss him. So I'm just saying this because I look at it more towards as a totality, right? If they complete this Isak signing and they perform as good as they have in comparison to last season, right? You guys shouldn't have much of a problem wrapping up the league title and going far in the Champions League. But I mean, like you said, like your defensive depth is a bit of a headache, considering that you sold a centre back and you didn't get another one back.
Stranger things have happened in football, all that.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Like Manchester United finishing 15. But moving on, next up, we're going to talk about Manchester United and their pre-season in the United States. United have currently played, if I'm not mistaken, 3 pre-season games. No, 4. 4 also. 4 pre-season games. The new signings have come in. Mbeumo made his debut against Everton, and Cunha played against Leeds, and he was sporadically featuring in some of the summer series. Knowing all this, right, Paul, what were your thoughts on United currently with their current gameplay? Because last year we had a lot of issues with the way that they played. And the work rate.
I think from the top of my head, right, you can surely see that they look fitter already.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they're on some. I think Amorim put them on some like weight loss program. Other than that, it's like high intensity running, high pressing program lah. So I think that's one of the things that's on my head. But the issue is still with scoring goals lah. I feel we're still relying on Bruno scoring penalties. But okay, maybe is the team like Mbeumo, right? He hasn't played in the past 3 games. Like he only played like this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think there's an issue about his fitness. Maybe they're working on him back end a little bit. Right, Højlund isn't firing as well. So I think the issues are still there, which is the lack of goals lah. But I do think that they are focused on getting each other's roles to be more clear.
Yeah,
like the wing backs are pushing up more now. Yeah, I still believe he hasn't found his midfield like pairing. He's either Casemiro, Ugarte, Mainu. He's rotating them a lot. Okay, I think Ugarte had a bad game against Everton, to be honest.
Yeah, he was bad.
Yeah, so everything is still going through Bruno as a central attacking midfielder. Mount is coming back. If he gets injured within the next few games, I won't be too surprised.
He's our version of Joe Gomez.
Yeah, I think. But nevertheless...
Yeah, but Joe Gomez is actually good.
I know, that's why. But in terms of paper legs...
Yeah, but nevertheless, I think the positive to take is the wing backs lah.
Yeah.
And unproven stars like Heaven, he scored an own goal, right? Or was it Ahmad?
No, it was
Ahmad.
Yeah, he kicked it then in the ball rolled. And then, don't even get me started on like the left backs. But yeah, I think now that we are 2 weeks out of the season, we only made 2 transfers, so I think we are in for a tough ride again lah.
Yeah.
If we don't sort certain positions out. Yep.
Understand. I do kind of agree that I'll leave my thoughts for later. Ned, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Amorim has actually been pretty smart about the transfer strategy this season. He's getting in attackers that are number one PL proven and have done so, done pretty well in the PL. Not just PL proven, but thriving in the PL. You got Mbeumo at double-digit goals. Was in the race for the Golden Boot at one point, and then you have Matheus Cunha, who can play on the left, play on the right, but also a very good second striker. I think when y'all got Cunha in, you could sort of see like the gears start to turn. But getting Mbeumo was a really good move in that you actually like got the glue in, because more impressive than his goal scoring ability, I think would benefit you guys was his link up play. Yeah. I don't know if you watched the Everton game. I was really, really impressed with some of the passes he played. But it's still, I feel striker is still a position that you still eventually need to solve. Yeah. However, I have an alternative theory. In that your midfield currently is Doctor.
No, I don't disagree, bro.
That's what I said.
I really don't disagree.
Look, there's no.
I don't. Hot take. I really don't think Højlund is the problem. I know you United fans are gonna, this Liverpool fan don't know shit about United. Look, okay, hear me out. On the season you bought Højlund, he said it himself. He was supposed to be sharing games with Anthony Martial. Martial, also another one with paper mache legs. So Højlund had to be starting striker up there. Giving credit, he was 21 coming in. He didn't set the price tag that he wanted of like 70 million or 80 million that United eventually bought him for. That was on Atalanta the set, and that was for United to stupidly go and buy. So fine, fair enough. You play him anyways. Look, at the point in time you guys got knocked out of the Champions League group stages, right? He was a top scorer in the UCL. I don't think it's a goal scoring problem. I think it's a service problem. So coming in the strategy of having a Buemo, having a second striker, Matthias Cunha, come in and finally maybe give him the service. Maybe it helps him a bit, but you still have to understand that he's only 22 years old. He was supposed to come in and be a long-term Erik ten Hag project. Obviously, that never worked out because y'all eventually sacked Erik ten Hag. But let's see. I think if y'all improve on the midfield, I think it can be a serviceable side that fights for European spots. But I do want to bring up a point that I want to ask both of you as United fans. I read an interesting stat that United had gone about 4,290 plus games. In the starting lineup, in those 4,000 games, there was always a United Academy graduate.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the year that streak finally ends?
As long as Menu plays, I think it's fine.
I think if Menu plays, is fine. But
the thing is, Menu, you can see Menu sort of falling out of favor with Emery already. I get that Ahmad is probably always going to be an option, but it's getting very thin. Y'all have gone from almost like the full squad of like United Academy graduates to like slowly dimming down to like one or two players and most. That's the only thing keeping the streak going. How do y'all feel about that personally?
I think like it's always a situation whereby there has to be a certain point of a club culture in a sense, because in the past few years, the current academy graduates that United currently have or know that are popular, right? So in the past few years, it's always been Garnacho, Rashford, Mainu, and I can't remember who else, but it's particularly mainly these three. Rashford, right? I think, and Garnacho, right? Their hit just got too big for them because they were bestowed upon with this immense responsibility that they're going to start irregardless of what happens, because there was literally no competition for their spot other than each other. So if let's say the other guy sucks, I'm going to play. Then if I suck, the other guy's going to play. So to them, it's just, I just wait by my time. I get a high salary and I don't really need to do much. I think that's essentially it. The hunger for the position to want to play for United is not there as an academy graduate anymore lah. If you're considering Chido Obi as an academy graduate, right, he's still too young. He's like just 17 years old. So I don't think that you should put all that pressure to him to be the main striker at 17. That's just madness. Unless you're a once in a generation talent, that's total madness.
Unless you're Wayne Rooney, bro.
Yeah. Correct. But he's not Wayne Rooney. So like I'll hand over the ball after this, right? So to me, I think if we have to shy away from the academy, right, just to make sure that we start to win games, I am fine. Because at the end of the day, right, the club and the results on the field are much more important than a streak of academy players. It just so happened that we had so many academy players over a long time, but let's just be honest lah. The standard of the academy in comparison to Manchester City has dropped over the past few years. In terms of ushering out proper quality like players. Like City's academy, the best one is Kobama, obviously lah. Kobama is one, and then Phil Foden. And then even if you're talking Arsenal, right, Eden Heaven is from the Arsenal Academy. Chido Obi is from the Arsenal Academy. So it's not saying that they were immediately homegrown from like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, like under 12, under 15, that type of thing. Some of them were bought over.
Look, at a certain point, like the bought over argument is kind of like nonsense. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. You bought him for your academy. He essentially came from your academy. As long as he spent a year there, it's,
I get what I mean, but for United, right, the long-standing history has always been they've come in from under 12, under 15, like schoolboy, then they go up. So that's the United Academy's history or way lah that's been done in the past. So whether to say that they're really academy, right, I think now it's really open to interpretation, because it's funny that people are buying academy players to put in their academy now. This was more of an afterthought in past years lah. So Paul, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think building on like the generations of academy players, right? It just so happened that our academy players, such as like maybe McTominay, Garnacho, they all underwent a transition where they played for different managers.
Yeah.
So like maybe Ten Hag, before Ten Hag was Rangnick, right? So Rangnick had like Ilanga, which he promoted. And then when it came to Ten Hag, he didn't like Ilanga. So it's a case where the next manager don't really agree on certain players that the previous manager chose. So like, I think with the exception of maybe McTominay and Rashford. And that being said, Rashford was supposed to be the next like Wayne Rooney of the Manchester United. It's just that, like what Eldred said, his head got too big. He is supposed to be in the prime of his career now, and in Manchester United. Maybe even like since 2020, like the Erik ten Hag's first season. things had gone like the perfect way, right, he will be the main star player now. He will be the Wayne Rooney of this current club. With then the likes of maybe Garnacho like learning the ropes, Menu coming up, McTominay maybe if Amorim liked him or like before like an offer came in for him, he could have still stayed and like be one of the graduates that continues playing for this club lah. But I think now we are undergoing another new phase. It's not a right environment for academy to graduate to be playing, except with the exception of like one or two, Menu. Garnacho, if his attitude was set straight lah. If he probably listened to Amorim from the start, right, he will probably still be in the team.
Agreed. I think maybe y'all two are the wrong two people to ask this question because you're very pragmatic about football. It's always about clubs and results first. But for me, I'm there's still a very sentimental element to me about football. I think that's why I enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
Like you get attached to these players even though they'll never know your name, but shit happens. So I think what I was coming from with this angle, it's a long-standing tradition. It's a very proud one that Manchester United have always like brought around. That it's homegrown. It's like real like Manc boys playing for a Manc club. So just wanted to get your thoughts on.
I think we were just traumatized from like the Rashford, Lingard, Pogba, this kind. Yeah.
No, but still understandable. You've gone through your experience. Everyone has gone through like different experiences, so therefore they form their opinions on those. So it's interesting to see where a modern United fan stands on this kind of issue. So yeah,
I think for me and Paul, we've always been more towards like it's the Fergie era, and the Fergie was always club before player.
But Fergie also had the players, young players should always come and play for. I mean, like
young players should always come and play, right? But the thing was that everybody was scared of Fergie, so there's like a standard that is like, okay, this is the standard that I have to adhere to. This is what I want to be to currently play in a team that can win titles, which is basically what Liverpool have right now and what City has right now, but United don't. I think that's the predominant difference lah. So, but enough about United. Let's revert back to Liverpool. There is the season opener at Wembley. As you can see from our thumbnail, It is Liverpool return to Wembley. So, the Community Shield, the season opener, the hot sun risers will be on Wembley Stadium again, where half the stadium is just blocked by a shadow, and everybody watching will just get annoyed. But I think that this game will be interesting because, for one, it is Liverpool against Crystal Palace team that beat Man City, right? So, Ned, I want to ask your thoughts, right? Like, just pure straight up, right? Is this Liverpool win guaranteed, or is it Crystal Palace have a chance to actually win this game?
Actually, funnily enough, head-to-head, Crystal Palace is one of the teams we've actually struggled against. I can tell you the past 4 fixtures, I've either been like really difficult or like just straight up we cannot play them. Let's go rewind back a bit. Last game of the season we draw 1-1. Salah late equalizer. The first time we played them that season, 1-0. Diogo Jota scored in the 19th minute and then nothing else happened because both sides could not, get the better of each other.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the game before that. We lose to them 1-0 at Anfield and we bottled the title because of that game. It was Kristanbul all over again. Historically, we've had a very tough time with Crystal Palace. So, no, I don't think this game is going to be, a walk in the park, despite, what they say. And yeah, even the game before that, in the 23-24 season, playing at Selhurst Park, it was 2-1. Javier Elliott had to save us at the end and do his like stupid Dragon Ball celebration. I'll never forgive him for that, by the way. Oh my god. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting match. I don't think it's gonna be very exciting. I'm gonna be real with you. I've never enjoyed watching Liverpool play Crystal Palace. Despite what I say, Crystal Palace having a very exciting project on their end. Watching them play against Liverpool has never been exciting for me. It's always been pretty nerve-wracking at worst. But yeah, I don't really have much thoughts on the Community Shield. To me, it's just another pre-season thing. I know some people have different weight to it, Arsenal fans. So I think look. Okay, look. I know in La Liga, like the equivalent of the Community Shield is taken seriously. I get that. I get why Arsenal fans wanna just put a bit of weight to it. I get it, it's a trophy to be won. It's been a while since you won one. So Yeah, look, I'm not too asked about it. I'm just here to watch good football, even if it's gonna like annoy the hell out of me. Am I hoping we win it? Low key, kind of not actually. I hope we don't actually win the Community Shield. Because the
Wow.
last time we did, we had a hell of a season, man.
Is that a
Oh,
community
and
shield curse, is it?
oh, that season gave me an aneurysm. We beat United 7-0. We beat Bournemouth 9-0. But the second time we played Bournemouth, we lost to them 1-0. Craziest season. I'll never forget it. Oh, that season was like my when the Diogo Jota goal came also, my favorite Diogo Jota moment I mentioned in the video. That season was crazy. But yeah, I hope we don't win it in all honesty. But I'm still gonna watch it. I'm still gonna, you know, if Liverpool win, sure, yes. I'll be clenching my ass the whole season.
Don't really do like honestly, right? Sometimes even when United play in the Community Shield, right, it's like this game not really much of significance, but I'm gonna watch it anyway.
Yeah,
because
correct,
it's
correct.
game.
It's that kind of game. I feel Community Shield has its time and its place.
Yeah.
You want to put weight to it, sure, why not? But to me, it's just football's back. It's a good signifier that football's back. Let's see what happens.
Because like that the next week is the season starts officially lah.
Yeah, for sure.
I think. Okay, Paul, your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think playing Crystal Palace at Wembley is not always a good thing lah. It's a fact that they will always cause some kind of trouble lah. I think
it's true.
It's like history writes itself. So, but on paper, you just have to give it to Liverpool lah. Okay, on paper, what a strong team. I'm not glazing any Liverpool fans or anything. It's just facts. On paper, head to head, you will choose the red side other than the blue side lah. So
I need Spurs to do me a favor and buy Eberechi Eze now
to get him out.
Please help us.
Yeah, I think
you need someone to replace Son anyways. Perfect timing.
Biggest threat will be Eze and Jean-Philippe Mateta, and maybe Adam.
Mateta, can you go and get him just in case you decide not to get Sesko?
He has the build to play in the EPL,
Yeah. So since Paul put on paper and Ned is like 50-50, let's go to predictions. So Ned, what is your scoreline prediction?
You're gonna say Crystal Palace?
No, I'm not actually.
Penalties.
2-1 Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool. All right, Paul?
Yeah, just for the fun of it, I'll say like Crystal Palace win on penalties or something.
I'm gonna
Please!
go with Liverpool.
Please!
Okay,
save me from this.
I'm wondering, whether should I make a prediction or should I just leave it between the both of you? But since
we're gonna break the first one of
the come on, Elder, you guys gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Okay, since it's the first prediction of the new technical season, I'm just gonna go with Liverpool 1, Crystal Palace 0. Yeah, that's what I have. Right,
I respect it.
I think this game I grew in, it's going to be super boring. So let's just see what happens with that. Right. So I think we've come to the end of the episode, boys. Do you have anything else to add before we close off?
I really hope if we win that Community Shield, we don't get cursed like the past few winners.
Yeah. Who won last year's Community Shield?
City, bro.
City.
And they lost, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We played them what?
Oh, we won the Community Shield.
We won the FA Cup the year.
You won the FA Cup, but you lost the Community Shield. Onana, this stupid ass penalty. I still can't believe he did that.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I will leave it at that, right? So with that, we come to the end of this week's episode of the Football Kaki. Alright, so that is it for this week's episode of the Football Kaki, brought to you by the Chit Chatter Podcast Network. Now, for those of you who are tuning in, we just want to say thank you, and we hope that you continue to watch our other shows, which are the Copy Bros every Monday, where we come together and have conversations with different people. We have interviews. We have some fun interviews lined up for you. I stumbled my words there. And if you do like game shows, we do have the SG Draft podcast every Friday, where we come together and draft about different topics. You have the power to vote and decide who wins on the draft every week on our Instagram stories. So with that, we have come to the end of this week's episode. Before we go, do you guys have anything else to add?
Oh yeah, the Fantastic Four was not bad.
I think last year's Community Shield, like the two participants got it the worst. United finished 15, City had their worst season of all time. I just realized how bad that game actually is now in hindsight.
The Community Shield
was very entertaining. The thing itself may be cursed. Maybe the reason that Arsenal won it has been the reason why they've gone like second 3 years in a row.
Let's see no comment about it. No comment about it. Yeah. So with that, thank you everybody for listening into the Football Kaki and for watching this YouTube video. Do follow us on Instagram and all our socials. All in the link below. So with that, have a good week ahead. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon.
It's time to go.
Bye bye. It's time to go.